Hello, welcome to Therapeutic World, and today we're going to be looking at life after becoming a qualified counsellor. So let's hear from Kirstie. Okay, so Kirstie, what have you been up to since qualifying as a counsellor?
Okay, so I work 1 day a week in a school, seeing students as a student counsellor, and that's quite a different role to working with adults.
And could I ask, was that immediately after you qualified?
I had to wait until I had 100 practice hours before I was able to work in the school, which was a condition of the school. Yeah.
Okay, are you doing any other work? I think you mentioned about private practice.
Yes. I started private practice about 5 or 6 months ago. I see 8 clients. They're all adult clients, and I do some hours in the daytime and some in the evening.
Right. And is that all on one day? Do you do that all in one day? You see the clients all in one day, or are they, is that sort of spread over throughout the week? I spread it throughout the week, but it depends what days I am available and how it works out as to what days I book clients on. Right. And Kirstie, how easy was that transition between qualifying and then setting up your own private practice?
I think it's about how you feel about yourself, and once you decide you're going to do it, then it's a process like anything. You just go through the necessary steps to set up.
Yeah. Was there anything that was helpful on the course that has kind of, helped you?
In setting up my private practice?
That's
or
right.
Just
and within your placement as well?
My placement. I would say, so the emphasis on being autonomous and having to do things yourself and find your own way, I find that's very helpful, just because that's what we are modelling for a client, and I think that's what we have to kind of manage to do ourselves. And the same with supervision. It needs
right.
to be I have kind of recently experienced that it has to be a collaborative affair, and I think that in the course that was something that was very much emphasised, was that the relationship between counsellor and client is a collaborative effort. It's not
right.
the counsellor telling the client that this is what you have to do. It's very much got to come from the client.
Yeah. And could you just explain to our viewers what supervision is?
So supervision is where the work that I do, or any counsellor does, is reviewed with another qualified therapist, and the purpose of that is to ensure that the client is at the centre of the work, and that
right.
our stuff as counsellors doesn't come into what's happening with the client.
So you're not carrying the load by
definitely.
yourself, really. Keeping it all to yourself. There's someone that you can talk to.
Yes.
About your caseload.
Yes.
And you can get lots of insight from supervision as well, and just really a way to go forward.
Yes. Yeah. Which I find particularly working in a school with young people, it becomes. It's essential anyway, but that's where I notice it the most, because there's also other issues around working with young people. So so supervision is very much essential, and keeping everybody safe.
Yes. And Kirstie, are you happy where you're at in terms of counselling after qualifying and work-wise?
Yes, I am. I have made the decision not to rush into things, which I feel for me is very important, because in life we often feel a pressure to do better and do, that kind of thing. But for me, it's been very important to just take things as they come, and to not feel that I have to do something, not feel like I have to
So you're quite comfortable. It sounds like you're quite comfortable.
Yes.
I mean, one of the things that students often ask me, are there jobs in counselling? And I know that you keep in contact with your peers from the counselling course.
Yes.
And you know, what's your take on that? Being out there, from what you're hearing, what you're seeing, would you say that there are jobs out there?
Yes, there are jobs out there. From what I hear, there are certain boxes you have to tick, and when you do go through what do you call it, an employment process,
Yes.
you might have to sit in front of a group of people, and you might be asked questions where you're really put on the spot. But there are jobs out there. Yes.
Yeah. And I suppose the beauty of becoming a counsellor is that, you know, you can do the counselling work, like, you know, you're in your private practice alongside a day job, for example.
Yes. I do know from my colleagues who I still keep in touch with that they are doing exactly that. They're still managing to do, or choosing to do rather, not managing, but choosing to do, say, a day a week of counselling and 3 days a week in a different job, etc. So just
would you say, Kirstie, is that out of choice or necessity? I know that you can't answer for, you know, for them,
people.
But from what you've been hearing, perhaps maybe a bit of both.
Yeah, I would say a mix of both. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're coming towards the end. Is there anything that you feel that might be useful to say to our viewers today before ending?
Oh goodness. In terms of
life after becoming a qualified counsellor.
So, in terms of life after becoming a qualified counsellor, I would say look after yourself. Number one.
And you've already said supervision. That's the way of looking after yourself, but also
Yes.
not forgetting yourself, because when you do become a counsellor, it's like, you know, sometimes what happens is that, you know, counsellors, they begin to take care of other people, and they forget how to take care of themselves.
Yes, that's right. Yes, I mean, I still, well, at the moment I'm in personal counselling, and that's to look after myself. I think it's important also to maintain a sense of self. It might be that you question yourself about how you're working, you know, with your clients.
Yes.
And I've actually found that it's important to recognise the type of practitioner I am and the type of professionals that I want to be involved with, so that complements what I'm doing myself as a therapist. Because I can't be somebody else, you know.
Yes.
I have to be myself, and you know, particularly in practice, I have to model that I can have faith in myself. So that's very much something to maintain a connectedness with yourself and to be confident about who you are in practice.
Yes. And one thing that I got from you, Kirstie, that there is no rush, and I think finding what suits you, not what you feel like you have to do.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of getting that balance.
Yes, very much so. Very, very much so.
Okay, so thanks a lot, Kirstie. Thank you so much for coming. And to the viewers, thank you for watching, and we hope that we've helped you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
And if you do like this video, please give us a like, and remember to press the subscribe button so that we can keep you updated.